Hey guys, this is Blazer from Operation Sports. I wanted to talk a little bit about the MLB 2K10 hitting control scheme and basically why it's flawed. Fundamentally, from a baseball perspective, everything about it is pretty off. And I just wanted to come up with my little alternate control scheme, sort of talk about what they can do to address them. So I'm going to talk about the issues of why it's a problem, just try and correct them a little bit. Hopefully they'll do this next year because it's really bad. So first of all, we're all up in arms over no check swing. It's actually a pretty big issue. Huge thing in baseball. Not necessarily going completely halfway, but just being able to hold up a swing. To not have that, it's like not having a pump fake in basketball. It's pretty big. So I do hope that they address that. All right, so here's a controller, obviously PlayStation controller, and I hope the screen's showing it here. So I want to show you sort of what they do in the game and how they can address it. Okay, so with the right analog stick, it's all right analog stick hitting. Okay, so obviously games are doing that more and more this decade. The reason is they make it a little more immersive, I'd say, make it a little more fun, and maybe make it a little more representative of the sport that you're playing, because you can go so in depth with it. And I think that's really the problem here, is they went in depth the wrong way with it. All right, so here's what they do. So they have a contact swing, they have a power swing, and they have a defensive swing. Okay, so contact swing, you load by pulling back, right, and you let go. That's the contact swing. That's hitting for contact. Power swing, go back, thrust forward, right? And then defensive swing, it's a flick. There's no load. You flick. I think you just go like left or right or forward. I'm not sure exactly. So somebody's gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong on any of these things. So I'm sorry. Okay, so a couple issues here. First of all, I don't like not having just one button swinging or one stick movement swinging. We have contact and power. It'd be nice if we just had one. Here's the problem with having two. If we have two, that means we have to choose sort of whether we do contact or power. Obviously, with contact, guys, we would not probably want to swing for power too much. Say we have Luis Castillo up at the plate. Why would we want to try and swing for power, risk getting on base with him, you know what I mean? And as a result, we're never going to hit any home runs. If we're going to swing for contact with contact, guys, we're never going to hit any home runs. With power, I suppose we'll have a shot, but there's no reason to be swinging like that with him, you know what I mean? So with power, guys, Ryan Howard's up. Why would we do a contact swing? I mean, I understand some people, 2 strikes, all that stuff, you're going to want to do it. But, most people, when they have that guy up, they're going to want to use that power swing. They're always going to want to use that power swing, especially online. That's why I like if they could just let the ratings take effect in this and just do one swing. Just go back, forward. Obviously, I'm going to talk about my control scheme later, but just go back and forward. It's one swing, let the ratings take effect. Now, I'm not going to talk about left stick too much, but basically they use it as influence. To me, it's also flawed in the way I think it has too much influence. They say go up for fly ball, down for ground ball, right for right field, left for left field. I think they should do it more as do up for, well, assuming they're going to do influence and not zone hitting. If they do influential swinging, I think they should do it like this. Up for an uppercut swing, just more up. Down for a chop. Left for righties to pull that way, to do a pull swing. And right for, right for righties to do a pull swing, or, in opposite field, whatever. The way that it's different is you're not necessarily you're influencing a fly ball, but you're not hitting a fly ball. You're getting that sort of influence. But anyway, that's for a different subject matter. Anyway, here's the biggest issue aside from no check swings: the defensive swing. Like I said, just a flick. It's an issue, and here's why. Anyone that plays baseball understands. I guess they all understand what a defensive swing is, right? It's so you can fight off pitches. Okay. It's so you can stay alive in the count because maybe it's not a pitch that you liked or whatever. I feel like the defensive swing, I feel like I would never use this swing because it's something you have to predetermine before the pitch. It's something you have to decide before the pitch comes, because it's either you do this flick or you do a load back, right? So it's either you do a defensive swing or you do a power or contact swing. You don't get to choose on the fly when the pitch is coming whether you want to all of a sudden do a defensive swing later. So I think what's important is they incorporate defensive swing with your load, because I don't know any major leaguers that don't load all of a sudden and they're just going to do defensive swings. Why would you ever want to do that? I mean, why would you just want to foul off pitches to make the pitcher's stamina go lower? I don't know. I mean, see, the thing with the defensive swing is you're up there, you're trying to still get on base. Just because you have 2 strikes, it doesn't mean you're out of being able to get a good hit or anything. Now you're just in a 2-strike hole. So okay, now we can use contact swing, I suppose, in this situation. Fighting off pitches, the reason I'd want to do that is because maybe it's not a pitch that I like. It's a pitch I started to go after, and I'm like, oh crap, now I'm just going to fight it off. Hopefully it goes foul. Hopefully I can flip it in for a single, whatever. Or maybe, okay, so maybe you can use it for hit and run. Okay, maybe you can try and put it in play. But I think this fight off thing is more to try and hit it foul than anything. But now, granted, okay, with the defensive swing, you're not guaranteed to hit it foul. You might put it in play. You might swing and miss, in fact. So I kind of like the idea of the defensive swing. I know Trev11 on the boards was all talking about it last year and years before and such, and I kind of didn't like it because I didn't like the route they were going with it. But I think with the right stick thing, I think they can do better with it.